Hello, welcome back to BlenderSushi Live Noding. In this video, I'm going to explore one of the power nodes that's provided by Sverchok. What I mean by power node is one node that can do a lot, even if you're just using it alone without any other kind of complexity nodes that you need to connect. Just a single node, but you can do so much. So this is duplicate objects along edge. I just found out about this today, and I didn't know that Sverchok has this node. So let's give it a try. Sverchok duplicate along edges. This is of course something you can try yourself, but I just want to kind of like give like a demo. Normally the way I do it is I always use the viewer draw. So I'm sure that I will have the output, and then I will put the input one by one until I get some kind of result, and then I tweak from there. From here, let's see how intuitive this node is. Normally, if you see something with R is kind of like a receiver, so the donor must be on the top. This top tree should be the donor. Yeah, so let's say we start with circle. Circle is going to be the receiver. I believe this is what we need to give. Vertices, edges, let's try using box. So this is the donor of the information. See, right away we have something that looks quite interesting. But why are we getting this? Let's investigate. So the count, let's see, if we make it to 1. So apparently the box, okay, the box is being duplicated along edges. Obviously the edges of the circle in this case. That's quite easy to guess. Vertices, number of vertices is affecting it. So if we have like 8, it seems to kind of stretch the box as well, which is kind of interesting. It's definitely can be useful. The count will increase the number of box in the edges of the circle. Paddings kind of seems to be cutting the edges of circle. Scale all axis. Scale all axis. What does it mean? Seems to be it's maintaining the size of the box, I think. So if the count is 1, see, this is the size of the box. Actually, we don't have control over the size anymore, so this guy must be taking over unless we turn off. Okay, so unless we turn off this guy, but then if we turn off this guy, it's maintaining the proportion, so it's become like a box. But then we don't have control over this guy. If we turn off that guy, the box kind of stretching. Yeah, interesting. And then we have this XYZ. I think it's much easier if we use Suzanne, because with Suzanne we have orientation about our objects quite easily. Let's do that real quick. Or a teapot. Let's use teapot. Yeah, let's use teapot for now. Torus object extras. Diamond teapot. Teapot, and I think F6. F6 gonna give us this option. Okay, that's teapot in the center. That's gonna be our objects. Let's scale the teapot and apply rotation scale. File, save as. Use objects in. Get our teapot and plug this as this is gonna be the donor. vertices and polygon. Now we can see more clearly what's going on. Let's turn off the points. Okay, now it's just a teapot. So this is the original. That's the duplicates of objects along edges. We can delete the box. So we definitely need apply matrices. The count will give us the number, like the number of objects being duplicated along edges. Currently we have like 8 points from circle, but we have like a 7, I think 7 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's correct. That's 7. We can have control over the radius of the circle, of course. Let's turn this back to 1. Padding kind of give us, oh, that's kind of like the gap. If the padding is 0, we kind of get our full objects. This is really handy objects, really handy nodes. I think it's almost like array modifier, but really quite powerful, I think. Scale in all axes, that can be used. The X, Y, and Z, you see, is more clear now. X kind of giving the object kind of like the directions of the objects. So the teapot is facing X in that direction. I wonder if Suzanne also the same. Suzanne by default, Alt G, Alt R. By default, Suzanne is facing minus Y axis, but teapot is facing in the Y direction. So if I try loading Suzanne, so that's what we get. So X, Y, and Z. What is this? So we have only 3 options. I was hoping maybe we can have minus X, minus Y, minus Z, but that's easily flipped anyway. So let's get our teapot once again. Hide Suzanne. Okay, we can control the directions. Fix, please fix. What is fix? Let's try up. What is up? Padding up, down. Didn't quite get that. Off. Well, I guess count is the most useful. But there is this fix mode of specifying recipient edges. Fix. Vertex 1 and vertex 2. Let's try factor in. Seems to be giving a control for the edges. Interesting. Yeah, but for now I think this is the one that's the most useful with circles. But anyway, I think duplicate objects along edge might actually have a documentation somewhere on Sverchok website. So that's one thing to remember. Count 1 vertices 12. Yeah, I guess, but if you wanna maybe draw like grease pencil like that, maybe from top, fill from top, and then draw grease pencil, convert grease pencil to Bezier, and convert to mesh. Now we should have our edge with a lot of points. Now if we grab this guy, get our GP layer curve, this guy might be a little bit heavy, so I will do vector interpolation. Have another viewer draw. Okay, let's use a light float range. Give it some numbers. So that's less of the edges. So we also need UV connection, but this is there, this and that edges. Now we have our line edges that we can use to generate our teapot. There you go. So we have teapot along edges. I remember at some point I was requesting this to Sverchok developer, and I think they actually made it, which is really cool. I didn't know they finally made this. That's definitely can be really handy. Maybe if we can randomize the teapot position, count X-Y's. I wonder if we can just what if I plug in matrix in into this guy, vector in, or random vector. Yeah, that might also be useful. So it cannot have more than the number of the edges here. But that's certainly interesting. It's kind of randomizing the position of each teapot. Yeah, I think it's it can be expanded into your usage. But yeah, anyway, this is my live noding video to explore this duplicates along edge node in Sverchok. Super useful node. It's a power node that I always like power nodes. It does a cool thing even just alone like this. Yeah, hopefully you find this video useful. Leave comments down below if you have questions. Thanks again for tuning in.